gas exploration and drilling is meeting increasing resistance from local community groups, so it is essential to connect landowners and acquire signatures before sentiment by environmental and other public organizations limit our ability to obtain access to private land for oil and gas development. So they're basically scared of us. So the first thing they talk about is actually really kind of appealing to folks' sense of patriotism. It says, most landowners will be patriotic Americans and will desire to free our nation from foreign oil dependence. Make certain that you lead with this selling point. Now this says in bold, underlined, China bought more oil than the United States last year. Fear of foreign encroachment is the biggest asset that we have in selling our development strategy. Always start your conversation with a new potential signee on a point that they will agree with. This is pure psychology. It then goes to talk about how they are small businesses. It says that we are a small business working closely with state governments when we set up wells. More educated landowners may know that we often sell our land leases to larger corporations, just like the corporations that were described. While this is often true, we do not always sell our interests. It's reasonable to say that we plan all development in Ohio without partners. Future plans do not need to be fully disclosed. It then starts talking about water contamination issues and health issues. It says, distance our selling positions from the movie Gasland. We do not want landowners linking that image with their development plans. Then it says, most landowners will not know the difference between hydraulic fracturing and the process of slick water fracturing. Use that to your advantage. If anyone knows about slick water fracturing, avoid this topic. Do not discuss the chemicals and other material used during slick water fracturing. The best strategy is to state that the chemical mixtures used are proprietary and are highly diluted with water when ejected. Reassure landowners that no well contamination has ever been documented. Now, in bold, underlined, it says, for the Pennsylvanians in the room, do not mention water contamination in Pennsylvania. We do not want to associate ourselves with potential groundwater issues. Stress to the landowner that we will use cement and steel casings to protect the aquifer. Leave your answers vague if they end up bringing up Pennsylvania. It then talks about folks' sense of values in terms of how folks view the government. And it says, quote, federal law has no bearing on our development. Less government interference is better. Midwest Americans, I should mention that this again was found in Ohio. Midwest Americans tend to agree with the proposition that less regulation would be better. Obamacare is a great example, but watch your audience. Check for political bumper stickers as you approach the House. I would guess that they would probably not be happy if there were Food and Water Watch bumper stickers on someone's car. It then talks about noise issues. Say that the noisy portion of the operation is upfront and over quickly compared to the entire operation. This part of the process can take up to a year, but do not emphasize overall time. The well may last for 40 years, so 1 year of noise is not so bad. If pressed for details, tell them that we monitor noise to ensure it's approximately 80 decibels at 200 feet. They will likely not understand the details and will not admit that the technical data means little to them. Do not compare this to anything tangible, like train noise or airplane noise. Stick with the numbers. They provide the truth, but make it hard to understand the exact implications. I can't make this, I'm reading this memo. You can't, it's really amazing. How much time do we have? Okay, so a couple more things that I want to highlight. So there's a lot of gems here. You can just read this all day. So it talks about the location of wells. Some might ask how many wells will be in a square mile. Don't answer that question. Most landowners will not realize that 10 to 20 wells can be placed in a square mile. Men are more likely to sign than women. Men don't like to believe that you know more than they do. So they're also likely to ask questions. So they're less likely to ask questions. In the state of Ohio, the husband can sign the lease without spousal permission. Go that route if required. Tell them it's their decision. Write the lease agreement with only the husband's name on the paperwork. This will make it more likely that they will sign a loan. Men are also more conservative and more likely to want oil and energy independence. Women will have more concern for the environment and will challenge you more often. Knowing who to approach can seal the deal. So I'll leave you with that, and I think that we should, obviously keep this in mind as we begin to develop our campaigns and strategies and messaging as we fight fracking in our communities. If anyone is interested in getting a copy of this memo, I can email it to the event organizers and they can make it available. It's a PDF, and we'd be happy to share it with you and share it with your neighbors. Thank you.